Jenna Rice here. I'm super excited to start this channel up again with a very important video about spray paint safety. Okay, I know. My channel has changed names a few times. After talking to a lot of my friends and family about it and thinking about it for way too long, I decided to just go ahead and stick to Jenna Rice Art, as that is kind of like my brand name, my seamless name across all of my platforms. So feel free to follow me at Jenna Rice Art on Instagram. Also, I have a Facebook page, Twitter, Snapchat, all the things. Find me at Jenna Rice Art. So now let's get to the video. I did a bunch of research recently about spray paint safety. You know, I went on a few different websites. The first website that I went on was Krylon. If you don't know already, Krylon is kind of like what I like to call a hardware store level spray paint. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of read off what Krylon says and kind of like put my own little tidbits in there. They say, first, stay out of heat and away from fire. Yeah. Don't smoke. I can imagine that would be a difficult task to do while you're spray painting anyway. But yeah, don't smoke while you're spray painting. Avoid prolonged exposure to sunlight or heat. The prolonged exposure to sunlight I wasn't really sure of when I first started spray painting, because you know, I would spray paint at the pit in High Point, and there is no shade, but I would actually keep my spray paint like out in the sun, and it was like probably 100 degrees out this summer. Don't do what I did. I thankfully didn't have any cans explode, but then again, now that I think about it, I probably should not have done that. Also, don't do what I did and leave all of your cans in your vehicle in the summertime when it's really, really hot. Leave the spray paint can whole. What does that mean? So basically don't puncture it or like crush it, kind of like you would with like an aluminum can, which, I mean, crushing one of these suckers, I mean, that's good luck. So it says vapors are harmful. Avoid continuous breathing of spray mist by spraying outside whenever possible. When spraying inside, open windows and doors to ensure fresh air entry during application and drying. Wearing respiratory protection is also helpful. So this is the respirator mask that I use here. This one I got actually at Buddha's Belly. And here's a little tidbit for you. Buddha's Belly is a graffiti shop here in Greensboro, North Carolina. It is directly to the left of the new graffiti park. And directly in front of my new Elon Musk mural. Anyway, so it is technically a hobby shop. They sell a variety of things, but that is one of the biggest places that I like to get my spray paint in the Greensboro area. So when painting indoors, what you should really use though is like a full face mask. Back to ventilation. So another indoor tip. So I recently did a chess mural for Kick-Ass Concepts. Kick-Ass Concepts is a restaurant development and operations company owned by Marty Kotis. Since he knew that we were painting inside and there was really no way for me to like open a door or a window to the outside while in this office, which is actually his office, he calls it his strategy room. So he bought this really cool like ventilation system. It's like this giant worm like attached to this giant fan that like kind of like sucks all the air out of the room and like takes it outside so that it wasn't directly harming me in this enclosed space. Thank you, Marty, for keeping me safe. Keep the spray paint on your project, not on you. If you accidentally get spray paint on yourself, I read that, you know, you just have to kind of like scrub it off as soon as possible. The less you can absorb into your skin, the better. I read on the Montana Can site that it actually suggests that you keep the cap on the cans. So like keep your caps on your cans while storing them. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if it has anything to do with the combustible element or like maybe if it leaks or something, like it's more easily able to get out of the can without exploding. But I've never stored my cans with the caps on it. I mean, for all my other graffiti artist people out there, I mean, do you store yours with the caps on or off? I'm just kind of curious. It says you should remove any rags or clothing from the spraying area. Even if washed, they can still hold chemical particles, which, if in close contact with a flame or extensive heat, they can still set alight. That's interesting. I wonder if when I wash my clothes that are covered in spray paint with my other clothes, if those chemicals get on my other clothes. If you have an answer to that, please put that in the comments. I'm actually kind of interested. You should wear fresh clothes every time if you can, but I mean, honestly, I usually wear layers, so it isn't like the paint, you know, on the clothing is touching my skin. It's just kind of like on the outside. Next, damaged cans. So damaged cans should not be used. Clearly. I mean, if there's like a puncture in the can, compression is different, it can combust. If you are painting inside, it also suggests that you paint kind of in smaller, shorter bursts if you're in a confined space to reduce the impact of the spray can vapors. So like rather than like spraying like really large areas, maybe try using bucket paint. Like try to get those large areas with bucket paint and a roller rather than, you know, using a bomber can or like, you know, one of the high pressure cans to cover that large space. Keep aerosol cans away from children at all times. Yeah. It's always recommended protective clothing like masks and gloves. It's also important to consider the mask you choose can filter not only dust particles, but also airborne gases. So for instance, this super cool mask that I got from Marty Kotas and Kotas Street Art. Really cool mask. Love it to death. Wear it all the time. But yeah, this kind of mask, like a COVID mask, is not good for spray paint. It's not going to protect you at all. Like, yeah, it might protect some of the particles from going up your nose, but it's not going to filter the air at all whatsoever. And kind of vice versa. Don't wear a respirator for a COVID mask. But why? Exposure and consumption of such particles is to be avoided. So basically, don't be like me and go to paint indoors somewhere. Open a Red Bull can, put it down, spray paint inside, go to take a sip out of the Red Bull can because all the dust particles get all over everything. I drank that. Nothing bad happened, but I'm sure like if I did that often, that would be like really, really bad for me. And you know, it could cause all sorts of health issues. So we haven't talked about gloves yet. I typically use just like regular like latex gloves. If you're allergic to latex, obviously don't use latex gloves. Use non-latex gloves or some other sort of glove. At Buddha's Belly, they actually have these, they kind of look like gardening gloves. They're kind of like multi-use gloves that you can use for spray paint and stuff, and they're a little thinner, so you can actually feel the cap and kind of work kind of normally without feeling like you have these giant gloves on. But I just use these disposables. I recently bought these, and these are pretty cool. I didn't even know that these existed until recently. So they're heavy duty wipes. They're skin safe. They remove paint, grease, and adhesives. They do not remove spray paint super easily. You need to like really kind of scrub it into your skin, but it is better than, you know, nothing. So like I like to actually keep these in my car with all my like spray paint stuff. So like whenever I am, you know, out spray painting somewhere or in doing a commission somewhere, I always have a way to quickly remove it from my skin if I'm not around soap and water. Another thing, soap and water really doesn't take spray paint off. You gotta scrub it. So like that's another reason why you really wanna wear gloves. And don't get it in your hair either. Like you're literally gonna have to like cut that shit out. So I kind of came up with this idea to create a spray paint safety video based off of talking to a local artist who I worked aside recently. He was kind of telling me, you know, because I was painting inside and stuff, you know, we had the ventilation system and everything. He said, you know, wear long sleeves, you know, protect your skin because, you know, the vapors can actually like absorb into your skin. And that can be very harmful to you and actually make you very sick. He actually recommended to take a really hot shower right after spray painting. I've gotten a little nauseous from not showering right after painting, especially if I was painting indoors. Anyway, so yeah, overall, just be really careful when using spray paint. Use a ventilator, use a protective mask, and a correct one. Be sure to cover your skin, your body as much as possible. Take as many breaks as you can too. You know, like if you're in a room and you're just like really throwing paint around, be sure to get out of that room as often as possible. And, you know, go outside and take a breather. just try not to be in the paint too much, as it can be very harmful to your health. So these are just some things that I really just wanted to discuss with you guys, things that have helped me kind of learn more about what not to do, and what not to do again. So don't be like me and do the things I've done in the past, but be like me now and know that spray paint safety is really important. If you enjoyed this video and you want to continue following me on my journey as a full-time artist, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you liked the video, go ahead and click that like button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now, go get inspired, be an influence, and make something beautiful today.